Welcome everybody to Trainer Tips in Gravity Clubhouse. In Mindful Mechanics, we integrated yoga as a progression for compound and increasing that body awareness between what is the lower and upper body. And how do we use the inclined plane? Well, it changes the dynamic of what my body has to deal with. Changing dynamics, that alone is just increasingly important for any type of progression. Movement quality is the essence of what is, and I believe to be, every workout. We don't do more for the sake of doing more. We do less in order to increase our awareness and our activation in order to facilitate change. We'll take a common yoga position called triangle pose. It's only common because it's practiced and has been practiced for, let's call it, always. And then all of a sudden, you start to then change how my angle of my foot that I'm supposed to be holding and stabilizing on is against gravity, and all of a sudden, the increasing muscle activation just to hold that same orientation changes. The whole purpose of keeping the same position but changing how my body reacts against it is referred to as reactive training. Reactive training changes how my body understands the movement. Point there, if you look at something from a different perspective, not only do you learn something more, but you also then increase your awareness about what it is itself. So let's take triangle pose for a moment. We have long levers and we reach down. If we disengage the glide board from the bottom, all of a sudden we increase the muscle's ability to hold that position. We actually increase the need for the muscle to work harder. From this position alone, triangle pose takes on a whole new meaning. Typically, the triangle pose that I would do on the floor is much bigger. Range of motion is much greater. But on the glide board, it's smaller, which means I'm increasing the amount of muscle I'm using, but in not such a big range of motion. What does that allow me to do? If a muscle knows that it should, it will. If a muscle doesn't know that it needs to be active, it won't. And when we start to get complacent about our training and we start to overuse and underuse muscles, imbalance ends up being the end result. So, being on the gravity, I use the gravity program with the GTS, all of a sudden, if I'm against gravity and I have to increase the force against my body and I try to go deeper, I start to realize very fast what I didn't have before. That's why. If I can increase my body's awareness and increase the activation that it takes to do a similar pose that I've been doing on the ground forever, not only will my body learn, my body will also grow, and most importantly, the activation that it takes to get there makes my world easier when I get back on the floor. Efficiency is beautiful. Let's use it together. Thank you.